Hello, everyone. This is Elizabeth with Scott Leroy Marketing, and welcome to Lead Generate with Command Facebook Ads 101. Today is January 24th, so if you are viewing the recording, some features may have changed. I am starting out today in Mozilla Firefox, but you can also view Command really nicely in Google Chrome Incognito. And command is agent.kw.com. So feel free to join me there and follow along or follow along on the screen. First, you'll just enter your username, which is something like first initial, last name, maybe a number. Capitalization not required. Then you'll enter your password, which of course capitalization is required. And click sign in. So first step is we're going to go to our name in the upper right-hand corner and click to drop down that menu and click settings. Here, we're going to make sure that your Facebook account is connected to Command. Now, I will also mention that you must already have a Facebook business page created in order to connect your Facebook account here in the settings. If you do not already have one created, we do have a tip video for that. Check out our YouTube channel, which I will link in the chat later on. Now, your screen may look a little different than mine. You may have different apps connected and in the connected section. But the goal is to find the Facebook Ads Manager section. It's generally the second one listed. And then you'll simply want to click that connect account to sign in to your Facebook account right away. Now, there is an additional step that was recently added. Once you do enter your email or phone and password to log in, you must click the drop down to select the page that you want these ads to be published to. So don't forget that extra step. And I do always recommend going ahead and connecting this Facebook post scheduling section as well. Since you just entered your password here, it saves you some clicks if you do it now. But we won't be going over the post scheduling today. That is the free option to create social posts to be posted to your business page, to its timeline. Instead, what we are going over is the Facebook Ads Manager section, which is the paid version, the paid ads. So that is the option that does cost money and won't be on your Facebook page's timeline, but it will be on others' news feeds when you select that audience, which we'll go over. Now, a couple other things to note. I always like to reference this Setup for Success KW support article. It has 8 steps to make sure that your Facebook page and Facebook account are good to go and to be connected with Command. So first step, like I mentioned, make sure you already have a business page created. Now, unlike DocuSign, you must have the 2-step verification turned on. So see this link to learn how to set that up. You also need to make sure that you are an admin on your page. So this can be found in the Facebook settings and in the Facebook business settings as well. Now the screenshot may look a little different from your page, but the information is the same. You just want to make sure that you have access to publish all content within the Facebook business settings. Next, to kind of go along with that last step, you want to make sure that you do already have a Facebook Business Manager account set up. And like I mentioned, make sure you're an admin on that account as well. Next, you want to make sure that you have read and accepted the Facebook lead ad terms. Now, I'll show you where that pops up as we're going through the creation of the paid ad, but you can also click this link to go ahead and read and accept those terms at the beginning. Last 3 steps is what we're going over now. So connecting your account to command settings. Next is the command marketing profile. So that is under the connect settings menu on the left. Then you'll choose marketing profile. Now there are only a few required fields, but I always recommend filling in as much information as possible. If you don't have a team logo, maybe entering the realtor logo may be for you. If you do need to change anything, change this now so that it does syndicate throughout command without you having to double update it. And then don't forget to click that save button at the very bottom. Last step is going to be attaching a credit card to your account. So let me copy this article, paste it in the chat, and head that way. So we're going to be in the campaigns applet, which is the little megaphone icon in the left-hand menu. While you're still learning the names of the applets, though, you can always click this red square with the white KW to expand the names of the applets. And again, we're going to be in campaigns. So it does take you to the dashboard. Once you enter, you'll see the different types of campaigns along the top. We're going to be focusing on paid ads. You'll also see emails and social posts, which that social posts is what is used when you have that Facebook post scheduling connected. Now, those 2 pieces are the free pieces and can be found in another class of ours, Marketing with Command. And then the direct mail is the other paid option, which you can find more details on that in our print marketing class. Now, this screen may also look different on your end. It depends on if you've already ran paid ads before. So you may see another section here in the middle, but you'll see this quick post and tips and training down below. Lots of good information there. Next step before we create is going to be the payments. So it's the black text in the upper right-hand corner. Now, again, your screen may look different if you do already have a payment added. So ultimately, you'll want to click this blue text in the center left to add a payment method. All fields are required as notated by this little red asterisk. So you want to make sure that all of the information is entered and correct and updated. And you can click Add Card. To view the recording, you can go to our website, slmtraining.com, or our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Scott Leroy Marketing. Next step is to click the big blue button in the top right corner, Create Campaign. Now, again, here you'll see some options. Today, we're going to be doing social ad paid. You can also find a tip on our YouTube channel about Google Ads to create a search ad. Again, here's the option for the social post, direct mail, and email as well. So click social ad paid. And you'll get the little embedded pop-up to enter your campaign name. Now, this name is only visible by you. I do like to recommend some sort of naming convention. So in this example, I'm going to choose brand awareness, which I'll go over what that is in just a moment. But I can do something like brand awareness and today's date. Be sure to watch your character count, though. This can also be changed later if you so choose. If you create a new Facebook page, you can invite your friends to like or follow the new page. There should be a section on that new page, depending on if you have the current version of Pages or the new Pages experience, but that section should be towards the top to invite people to like or follow your page. So next section is your goal. Again, for this example, I'm going to choose brand awareness. With each month, I do go over the different goals, though, and the examples that we recommend. I have already covered advertise listing and attract listings. So this month is brand awareness. Next month will be attract buyers, and so on and so forth. So if you would like a more specific example of the couple of previous goals that I've done, feel free to visit our YouTube channel. Again, that's youtube.com/Scott Leroy Marketing. But the steps of creating and editing this paid ad will be the same. It'll just depend on what information you fill in. So even if you choose a different goal, you can still follow along. When in doubt, you can always choose other as well. And this can also be changed later. Next, you'll choose where your campaign will run. Now, this class is specifically for Facebook paid ads. So I'm going to select Facebook here. But if you have already connected your Instagram to your Facebook, you'll see that as an option. And if you've already created a Twitter and connected it to Command, you'll see that as an option as well. So feel free to check Facebook, plus any others that you may want. And click Create Campaign. Now you may see this little embedded pop-up for preview and crop image. This is the DBA Market Center logo. I find that sometimes it sticks and freezes when I'm in Firefox. So sometimes you may only see it flash really quick and go away. But if this does freeze on you, you can always click this X to close it and add it in later. Now here is the creation wizard with the steps on the left and the preview on the right. So just going from top to bottom, we'll open this first section. Here is where you can update that name and goal, like I mentioned. And then you can either click save or the up arrow to collapse that section again. Now on all types, on all goals of paid ads, you'll see this listing section. This is actually not required though, because in this example, we're doing a brand awareness. So we won't have a listing to add. But if you did, you can click add listing, and KWLS 2.0 will slide out from the right where you can select your listing. Again, if you want a specific example on attracting listings, advertising listings, etc., check out our YouTube channel. Next section is text. So you'll want to configure to drop down that section. Any field with the red asterisk is required, so you want to enter your text here. Now, whatever you enter here will show up automatically in the preview on the right. You can also add emojis by clicking the little smiley face in the bottom right corner. It's a very light gray. And then, of course, pay attention to your character count as well. So for brand awareness, you can do something like next section is your headline. So you'll see when we start typing in here, the preview will start syndicating that information. Again, pay attention to your character count. Now you can also do something like, pull from the main copy as well. I will also suggest capitalizing each word here. That's just kind of the general way to do paid ads. I mean, you don't have to by any means, that is not required, but just something I've come across. Next, you'll enter your description. Now, description may not show in all instances of your ad. Facebook will dynamically show the description based on their algorithm to improve performance. Yeah, you can use hashtags in your ads. I would suggest putting that in the main copy. So if you wanted to do something like, which you may see that pretty commonly, and then so on and so forth. You can also do emojis here, whatever you'd like. So this is branding you as the agent. Once you are satisfied with this section, you can click Save to collapse, and then click Media, Configure. Now, a couple of different options here. It will default you to images, but you can also add in a video. Once you click that select media, you'll have different options to choose from: a listing, add in, a neighborhood video, browse your designs library, upload, or embed a linked video. Now, command says videos must be shorter than 10 minutes and smaller than 250 megabytes with these couple of formats. You'll also see this best practices for video tooltip. Highly recommend hovering or clicking any of the little eyes in a circle for the tooltips. Now, this recommends a video length of 15 seconds or less with these aspect ratios. Now, we also recommend the shorter the better for a video. So, more like a GIF or something, just to catch the consumer's eye so that they can click the call to action button to learn more. Now, flipping back over to images, this is what I'll show you today because not everyone has a video already created. I believe that is correct. When you try to upload a video from YouTube or even Facebook, it'll say something to the effect of this Facebook paid ad doesn't allow Facebook or YouTube. So if you are receiving that message, that is correct. Upload is uploading from your computer's hard drive, so what's already locally held. And embed is using some computer code to link the video from another source over the internet. So under images, I'm going to click select media. Again, you'll see this little embedded pop-up with the same options. I'm going to choose add images. Then you can either browse designs library or upload image. So if you have just a headshot or a sort of card, which I'll show you what I'm going to be using in just a moment, from an outside program or company like Canva or Photoshop or what have you, and have that saved to your computer, you would choose upload image. But I'm going to choose browse designs library and then browse. This is going to take me to the templates that I have created. So your screen may look different than mine, but I'm just going to choose the design I have already created. Click to select. And then it shows up here already selected, as you see this blue line and the one image selected. Then I'll go to preview and crop image. Where I can see, I actually created this in the Facebook wide type. So I can change this drop down to wide. I can also, skew the tilt here, zoom in, reset. But once I'm satisfied, I'll click Save Image. Now, I know you're probably thinking I skipped a step. I do already have this image created. So what you can actually do either now or later or beforehand, before creating an ad, is go to designs. It's the little paintbrush in a square here. I'm just going to right click to open in a new tab to show you where that design is located. So you'll see the designs dashboard. Again, your screen may look different than mine, but you'll click create design, social, because we're doing a Facebook ad, and continue. Once the WeBrand editor pulls up, you'll see a menu along the left-hand side. There we go. And you'll want to choose the lead generation category. Now you can actually choose any of these categories, especially if you're doing a different type of goal. You know, if you wanted to create an email signature or even social branding, you can go in and see those designs as well. But for that specific design that I have, I'm going to go to I Heart KW under lead generation. Here you'll see a few. I'm making a move, new company, same exceptional service, you know, different types here. So you can then click use to edit those with your headshot, you know, your information as you see fit. For more information on how to edit these designs, check out our Designs 101 or print marketing class on how to edit these designs further. So again, my specific template that I'm using is under lead generation and then I Heart KW. So coming back to the paid ad, next step is the DBA logo. This blue text here is the link to go to KW Connect so that you can search for your Market Center logo specifically. You can also drag and drop or browse for your logo if you already have it stored on your computer. That'll bring up the Windows Explorer, where you can find the logos. That'll crop for you. And you can see it is now added on the design, on the preview. Now you will also see I have two logos. So adding this here, we'll add it kind of on top of, if you think of another layer being placed on top of the ad. So it does not detect if there is a duplicate, unfortunately. So if you do see that, or this auto populates for you and you want to remove it, you can click the little X in the center of your screen. It's very light gray on the right side of this editor section. And you can see that removing it removes it from the preview. Now, if you do have the logo on there and not on your design, you can also select which side it's on, left or right. And once you have this section complete, click Save. You should see that green check mark show up now that we have all of the steps complete. And next, we'll configure Facebook settings. So you will see your account is automatically selected here. If you did have more than one, you can click the drop down arrow to choose between your accounts. Now this should be the name, like your legal name that's on your account. Now just know the paid ad will not be published there, but an account is required in order to have a page and subsequently run paid ads. Next field is the page. So you would click the little drop down arrow and select your page. Now you can also have more than one page. So for instance, if you had, a lawn mowing business and Scentsy and Jamberry and Norwex, all your different business pages, you would be able to select from them here. So I'm going to choose my page. And you see this spinning here, and then you see destination selected and the preview update. Once you select the page, that is where you may see a pop-up, or lack thereof. You may have your pop-up settings turned on for the Facebook lead ad terms. So again, if you don't see that pop-up, if you have pop-ups blocked, it may show up behind the window and you miss it. You can visit that article, which I'll post here, or I'll post in the chat again, to click that link to see the Facebook lead ad terms right away. If you are getting any sort of error here, like we're seeing that you don't have a page created, you may have to disconnect, reset the API on your Facebook account, and reconnect. But if you have any sort of error here, feel free to email us with your login info and the error, and we'll be happy to help. And that also goes for if you ever need help connecting your Facebook account with Command, send us an email. We'll be happy to help with that as well. Now, destination, like I mentioned, you will see that the Facebook lead generation form is selected once you choose that page. Now, not only does Command and KW recommend this, but we do as well, because once the consumer sees this sponsored ad in their newsfeed, and, if they want to take you up on contacting you, or, doing a market analysis, or, whatever you have in your description here, and they click this button, this call to action button, they'll be taken to the Facebook lead generation form. It's just simply 4 little fields. It's the first name, last name, email, and phone. At this time, unfortunately, you cannot edit those fields. That is by Facebook. But once they fill in that information, which may be very nicely already filled in depending on what they have in their account already, so it'll save them some clicks and keyboard strokes from having to enter that themselves. But once they fill out that form, then they'll be taken to the website that you designate down below. The best part about this Facebook lead generation form is all of the information that's collected here will automatically populate within your contacts applet in Command. So, highly recommend this Facebook lead gen form. On the other hand, if you do so choose to select the site or landing page, which you'll see in the updated preview that does change to your website, whatever you'll enter down here, that site may collect their information differently, depends on what site you're pointing them to. And that information will not syndicate to your contacts. You will have to manually either push them to contacts or import or add individually. So highly recommend Facebook form. And again, that spinning arrow is checking to make sure that I have the lead ad terms accepted. But it may freeze on me. So the next section is button label. You can click this drop down arrow to select from one of the three options: learn more, sign up, or apply now. And yep, it looks like it's freezing on me. So let me get back to where I was. There we go. Okay. Learn more, sign up, apply now. Next section is the website URL. My suggestion for this ad, which is a brand awareness ad, so you're marketing yourself, is simply your website. So you'll enter your KW Command website address here. You can also copy that and paste it in. But I will say, keep an eye out. It does autofill this first section for you. So if it's not taking it, you want to make sure that this is not doubled up. So once that is entered, you'll see it load and you'll get the little green check mark. Or you can choose a landing page as well. Landing page is not only the standalone landing pages, but also your KW Command website pages. So you can link to your home page, your contact us. You know, if you said, contact me for a CMA, you can point them to your CMA page. So lots of options there. Next is your audience. So this is who you're going to choose, who sees your ad in their newsfeed. Now, by default, you'll see your location and the radius of 20 miles. But if you toggle this use custom settings on, you can edit that a little further. This will default you to target a custom audience, which, if creating a paid ad to lead generate and market yourself, then you want it to go to a custom audience. You may not want it to target your database because you already have those leads in your account. But that is an option if you so choose. Yeah, you can put in a third-party website in website URL. So you can change the location. You can change the radius. Minimum is 15 miles. But you can also highlight and type in here as well. Now for expert targeting, this section is optional, but I do want to go over it. Again, hovering or clicking these little eyes in a circle is the tooltip that will give you more information about what this field is. So if you do want to target further, you can add interests, little embedded pop-up, will display, where you can not only scroll through and find different interests, but manually type in what you're looking for. Now, these interests are pulling from when the person first created their Facebook account and however recently they updated it with their interests, which is a section within the Facebook account settings. So if they designated that they were interested in real estate, home investing, real estate investing, even some of the popular sites, realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia. For those, though, you want to select the non-pro version because you don't want to target agents. You want to target consumers. You can do types of property, luxury, commercial, land, lot, vacant, lots of different options there. Now you will also see if you hover over any option, it'll show you an audience size. That audience size is actually the estimate for the interests globally. So it may not be how many people you're going to reach now, but the audience size globally for this example is 6 million have commercial property as an interest. So once you have all of your interests selected, you can click Save. If you're not seeing this section, you may try visiting Command in either Mozilla Firefox or Google Chrome Incognito to show the most up-to-date version of Command. You may also need to toggle this Use Custom Settings on. Now, in this first section, include people who match is kind of like using the OR function. So this ad's going to be displayed for people who are interested in real estate investing or real estate economics or realtor.com, etc. Clicking this narrow audience button is kind of like using the AND function. So let me just choose a few here. Again, estimate audience is global. Keep that in mind. So let's say I choose advertising. So this ad that I'm creating will be shown to people who match real estate investing and must also match advertising. So this greatly decreases the amount of people that will see your ad in this location, in this radius. Because if you think about it, what are the odds? What are the chances that people have two, and these two specifically? So we do not always recommend narrowing down the targeting this much, which of course you can click the little X here or the little X here to remove that. We want to go as wide as possible, but as pointed as possible with these options here. So once you're done with this section, click Save. Now the next section is lead settings. So we'll click to configure and that drops that down. Now this is a fairly new section. So if you have created paid ads in the past, you may not have seen this before, but this is probably my favorite section. Although you may hear me say that for other sections too. They're all my babies. They're all my favorite. This section is what you want to happen to leads that come from this campaign. Because remember, any leads that click on the Learn More button or sign up or apply now have their information auto-filled and confirmed and be taken to your website, that information collected will go to contacts, excuse me. Now, if you designate to tag them, then you can either select from your list of tags that you already have created. You'll see here some ideas. I have FB for Facebook. You can do TW for Twitter, IG for Instagram, add. And I highly recommend your naming convention. So if you named this BA for brand awareness and the date, you would do FB, BA, today's date as a tag. You can also do the address if you do a different goal, like attract listings or advertise listings. Or you can manually type in to create a new tag here. Now you'll see this option isn't already in my tag list, so I can click Create New Tag, choose the color, and click Add. You can also do more than one. So let's say you have Facebook as a tag and brand awareness as a tag and the date as a tag. You can choose those three. Or, maybe you're targeting buyers, maybe, you want to do something with the location. This is 25 miles around Raymore. Whatever tags you would like when it syndicates over to your contacts. Additionally, you can also assign to smart plans as they come in as well. Now, unlike that last section where you can create a tag from here, you unfortunately cannot create a smart plan from here. So you would just click this drop down and select one you already have in your library. But if you would like to create a smart plan, you can right click, open that section in a new tab, and create that. Now, this also works if you have created the smart plan and created that smart plan with the trigger event of assigning a tag. So if you choose to create this tag and this tag and this tag upon syndicating to your contacts and create the smart plan saying, start the smart plan if a contact is tagged this, then that can work too. So you may not need to assign to smart plans here, but that is an option if you so choose, if you want to reach out to them immediately. But these tags are how you can identify who comes in from Facebook ads to your contacts applet. Once you're done with this section, you can click Save. I will also say if you need to delete a tag, you can just click the little X inside the tag. Now on to the next section, duration and budget. You'll see it does default you to a 10-day campaign starting tomorrow. Keller Williams recommends at least a 10-day campaign and a budget of $1 per channel per day. Channel being where you want your ad to run that we chose at the very beginning. I chose Facebook, but you can choose Instagram or Twitter, which are two additional channels. Ads may take up to 24 hours to be reviewed by Facebook before becoming active, which is why it defaults to the next business day. I do highly recommend giving it some time to be reviewed before creation or before publishing. I'm sorry. So that also means if you were to do an ad for open houses or just listed, you want to create this ad a few days ahead of time before you actually want it published, and therefore before the open house or just listed. So keep that in mind. You want to give yourself plenty of time. So you can click on the little calendar icon to update the day for either beginning or end. If you do change the end, the duration, the gray field here, will automatically calculate that for you. And you will also see the little green check mark in the step list has gone away. That is because the daily per channel has dipped below the minimum, which is actually what they recommend, $1 per channel per day. So you can either increase the budget by using the plus and minus buttons, or you can simply type it out as well. And you'll see that daily per channel has jumped back over $1 per day, green check mark in the steps list. And you'll see a little summary down here at the bottom. Now, if you chose different channels, your screen may look different than mine. You'll have a few other options. But once you're satisfied with this duration and your budget, and this will affect how many news feeds is shown on within your radius, because Facebook will use that money to publish it further and for longer for you. And click save. At this time, creating a custom audience using a CSV or XLS file from, Remine or, something like that program is not an option. You can either target your database or use the custom audience. Now, to go further on that, the workaround would be to import that CSV to your contacts and then use the Facebook settings to target my database. So that may be something you're interested in. With that option, you can create new audience from here, name it. You can either target by tag or neighborhood. So you may want to import that file with a tag and then choose it from the drop down and then create. So that may be something you're interested in. I also recommend checking out this tooltip for that though. You must have at least 100 of your contacts that has a primary number or phone number for Facebook. So it has to be their either email or phone number that they use to create their Facebook account. So generally it's something, maybe like a spam or junk email or a really old email or phone number that they use. But that would be there to remind you as well. Now, once you have all green check marks along the left-hand side, you'll see your preview on the right-hand side. I do recommend toggling this preview from web feed to mobile as well, so that you can see how your text lays out, how the headline lays out, Even the description, which of course those three are back in text, the text section. Because I find that a lot of people are using Facebook on a mobile device. So you want to make sure it looks nice for a mobile device over web feed. But preference there. Next, you'll see save draft or publish campaign. Again, once you have all green checks. Now, I also highly recommend clicking save draft and coming back to this ad the next day with fresh eyes, just to go over, make sure spelling, grammar, tags are correct, your budget is still what you want it to be, etc. You may have to update the duration, but that's a step you can take to make sure your ad is 100%. And then, of course, you can publish. I'm just going to save this draft today because it cleared half my info. Once you do so, you will be taken back to the paid ads dashboard. So this is under the tab that I mentioned at the very beginning, where you'll see all sorts of metrics like the paid ads that you've done in the last 30 days, 7 days, month to date, all your impressions. You can actually view your leads from here. So this will take you to contacts, how much you've spent. You can search for the paid ads. You can filter down all of the ads that you have created. You can filter by goal. You can filter by channel selected. So lots of ways to customize this view here. You will also see the name of the ad on the left, which is why I suggest a naming convention. So you'll know that this is a just sold for this address, just listed, Facebook for this address, etc. See a little preview, see the status. Now, of course, draft is orange, but you will also see one for pending review, approved, and failed. So if your ad does fail, you can hover over the status for a further explanation. If you have any questions or trouble with failing ads, let us know. May you choose a zip code instead of a city? At this time, that is not an option. It is cities. It can also be landmarks, if I remember correctly. If you start typing in, your keyword, whether that's like for me, if I start typing in Kansas City, it's going to pull up not only Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas, but I think the Kansas City ballroom or something. So you can type in different keywords there to pull up different cities, towns, things of that nature. So the rest of this screen here on the dashboard, you'll see the duration and then a bunch of acronyms: CPM, CPC, CPLC, cost per milli, cost per click, and cost per lead capture. If you forget what any of these are or want to learn more about them, remember that tooltip, the little eye in a circle. You can click this to see the full dictionary of all of those new words or acronyms that you see. So CPM, cost per milli, or cost per 1,000 impressions. This takes the total amount of your campaign divided by the number of impressions multiplied by 1,000. Cost per link click or cost per click takes your total amount divided by the number of link clicks. So how many people clicked either the learn more, apply now, or sign up call to action button. CPLC, or cost per lead captured, takes your total amount spent divided by the number of leads captured. So when in doubt, tooltips. They'll help jog your memory on what everything means within Command. Last but not least, the 3 little dots on the right. If you are in draft status, you will have these 3 options to edit again if you want to come back the next day. Duplicate if you want to run a secondary ad. Maybe if you're doing that A/B type of testing, you want to run one ad in Raymore and the other ad in Kansas City. Or you can archive. You will have different options for approved and active ads. That is where you'll see pause. So if you want to stop the campaign, and of course, duplicate and archive. Does this cost more than going directly to Facebook Ads Manager from our Facebook business page? Great question. I apologize for not mentioning this earlier. So with Facebook's and Command's connection and relationship, it doesn't cost more, but your dollars do go farther with the Command connection. So when you choose, in our case, it was $78 because I was doing like $2 a day or $2.20 a day. That reach will go farther with the KW relationship than if you were to run a similar ad straight through Facebook and Business Manager. So it won't cost more, but it'll go further, if that makes sense. If you're going to be using, or if you're going to be creating a landing page to be used in the paid ads campaign, that's going to be in the Facebook settings section. Towards the bottom, it's going to be the website URL field. So instead of the website URL, you're going to click choose landing page, and it'll be in this list here. So like this for me, for example, is a landing page, but some of these are agent site pages. That is correct. These Facebook ads will not show on your personal page, nor will the post scheduling or social posts within Command. Your Facebook account just needs to be connected so it has access to your business page. Part B to that answer is these paid ads will also not show up on your business page either. They'll show up in others, so consumers, clients, the general public, in their news feeds. So as you're going along through Facebook, perusing your own news feed, you'll come across ads that look similar to this. It'll say sponsored. It'll have the little logo and either, in this case, website or the page name, the image, and everything we just filled out, and that call to action button. So these will just be in line with every other post that is made by your friends. So who's ever in that audience that you selected will see this in their newsfeed. So this won't show up on your business page nor your personal Facebook account. Well, unless you're in that audience. So if you're doing a Facebook ad for your city and you have those things as your interests, then it may show up on your newsfeed. But it also depends on how much money you spent, how much Facebook is publishing that and sending it out, and the audience on their end as well. Here is our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ScottLeroy Marketing, and our website, scottleroymarketing.com. Both posted in the chat. You can visit this recording on our YouTube channel. It'll be right here in the upload section. Give me a few hours to do so. And of course, if you have any questions, you can find our contact information on our website. But that is it for class today. And of course, if I didn't answer any questions, feel free to contact us. And yes, if you have any specific account glitches, need help connecting your Facebook or other social media, have trouble getting past a step, just can't publish without those green check marks, contact us and we'll be happy to help. As always, thank you for joining and hope you have a wonderful day.